Hello everyone. Let's talk about what are web API and how do we use them. A web API, application programming interface, is a set of rules and protocols for building and inter- uh, interacting with software application. It allows different software systems to communicate with each other over the internet. Web APIs are typically used to fetch data from a web server and manipulate it within the client side application. In JavaScript, we can use web APIs to interact with web servers and handle the data returns. One common way to do this is by using the fetch function, which allows we to make network requests to retrieve resources from a server. Here the basic example of how to use a web API in JavaScript. Fetching data from public API. Let's say we want to fetch data from public API that provides information about users. We can use the fetch function to make a GET request to this API. URL of the API endpoint. This is the base URL. Okay. Use the fetch function to make a GET request to the API. Fetch API URL, then response. Check if the response is successful. If response dot okay, throw new error. Response is not okay, then throw new error. Network response was not okay. Response dot status text. Pass the JSON data from the response. Return response dot JSON. Then data. Handle the data from the API. Console.log user data. For example, we can display the data in the DOM. Data dot for each user. Const user element document dot create element p. User element dot text content equal to name. User name email user dot email. Document dot body dot append child user element. Catch array. Handle any array that occurs during the fetch. Console.log error. There was a problem with the fetch operation error. Let's explain the example. API URL. What is the API URL? We define the URL of the API endpoint from which we want to fetch data. Fetch function. What is here fetch function doing? We use the fetch function to make a GET request to the API. This function returns a promise that resolves to the response of the request. Handling response. We first check if the response is successful using response.ok. If not, we throw an error. We pass the JSON data from the response using response.json, which also returns a promise. Handling data. Once we have the data, we can use it as needed. In example, we log the data to the console and display each user's name and email in the document body. Okay, this line. Error handling. We use .catch to handle any error that occurs during the fetch operation, such as network issue or problems with the API. Okay. By the following this step, we can easily fetch and use data from the web API in our JavaScript application. This is all about what are the web APIs and how do we use them. In next video, we will talk about how do we handle JSON data in JavaScript. Thanks for watching. We will meet in the next video.